Hey everybody, I'm in my garage, so it's kind of cold, but I wanted to break down this reading, just read it with you, and then just kind of real briefly just go over some of the main ideas for the questions. So we're trying to finish up World War One this week, what we learned before we left, and it certainly has a lot to relate to today because of how big these changes are right now with coronavirus. It's not we've never experienced anything like it. World War One changed the world in a similar way. So I'm going to start down here, read the passage, and then we have time to get to some of the questions. So it was called the Great War, and the war to end all wars. World War I had many nicknames. It wasn't officially known as World War I until World War II happened. It really doesn't matter what we call the war. The impact it had on Europe and the world was immense, which means big. The war changed the way people thought about fighting and about life forever. There were two major sides that fought against each other in World War I. One side was called the Allies. An ally is someone who promises to come to your aid if something threatens you. The main allies were Britain, Russia, France, and the United States. The Central Powers fought against the Allies. The Central Powers were Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. They were first called the Central Powers because Germany and Austria-Hungary are located in Central Europe. Most of World War I was fought in Europe. The opposing armies lined up face to face and fought each other all along the Western Front and the Eastern Front. Fighting began in 1914 when Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. We learned about that before, right? The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. The fighting quickly spread. For 3 years, Europe was entrenched in deadly warfare. It wasn't until 1917 that the United States entered the war on the side of Britain, France, and Russia. In 1918, the Great War finally ended. Before World War I, no one would have believed that such destruction and devastation were possible. So, to start with the questions, we're looking at the meaning of two words, right? Oppose and warfare. So, based on what you read, what does the word oppose mean? And then, based off what you read, what does the word warfare mean? Next question. What were the names of the two sides fighting in World War I? Right? So there were two alliances. What are those two alliances called? Number 4. The author lists countries in this passage in order to. Why do they list countries? Number 5. Why does the author most likely say it doesn't matter what we call the war? I think that's in the very beginning, right? He talks about World War I, how it wasn't called World War I until World War II. 6. Read the following sentence. The opposing armies lined up face to face and fought each other all along the Western Front and the Eastern Front. What does the word opposing mean in this context? 7. What is this passage mostly about? 8. When did the U.S. enter World War I, and what countries were on the same side as the U.S.? So this is something you're going to have to type out on your own. And then 9, the statement below is an incomplete sentence. So you're trying to fill in a word, the word that most fits into here, right? Choose the answer that best completes the sentence. Blank. The war in Europe had started in 1914. The U.S. didn't enter World War I until 1917. All right, so that wraps it up. It's a pretty easy assignment just to get you thinking about World War I again. Please comment below on the thread if you have any questions, and I hope this helps. All right, see everyone later.